Okay, here we go. I've got my anchovies. I've got 9 flowers, one that I've already done. I'm going to show you how to accomplish this right now. And I've got my sheep's milk ricotta, which has a little more tang than cow's milk, but perfectly okay to use a cow's milk ricotta. And the anchovies are just under oil. These are from the Mediterranean, but you use whatever you can get your hands on, right? So I want to delicately open up my flour and start to fill it with the ricotta, little by little, and in the meantime also add an anchovy, depending how big the anchovy is and how salty you want it. So I didn't add anything to the ricotta, no salt, because the anchovy is salty. It's cured with salt in order to stay on the shelf. And so I'm opening up my flour a bit, adding the ricotta slowly and delicately. And here goes in the anchovy. I'm going to put 2 to make it extra flavorful. And then just sort of use your hands. I use my hands, like I said, thanks to the YouTuber Nonna Pia. She also has Instagram. So shout out to Nonna Pia, who my Aunt Rita introduced me to. And yeah, you just want to use your hands as long as they're clean, obviously. And shape that flour and wrap those petals around the ricotta to cover the ricotta, because if you don't cover it and sort of press it together, it will fall apart in the frying oil. So that's a pretty good job right there. If you can see, some fell out, it's okay. And so I'm going to go do that 8 more times. So now I'm going to make the batter for my fritters. And I'm using semolina flour, which is semola rimacinata in Italy. I'm honestly just eyeballing it. I think this is about 1 cup. And then I'm going to add to that some salt and a little bit of black pepper. And then water to the consistency that I need. It shouldn't be too thick, but also not too runny. So I'm also going to sort of eyeball that as well, and you will see how it comes out once I'm done. You might be asking yourself, why am I using semolina flour? Usually it's used for semolina bread or for gnocchi, but I like it for frying because it sort of gives more of a crunch to whatever I'm frying. Okay, I think I have gotten the consistency that I like for my fritters. I can always add a little bit more water, or more flour if it gets too runny. And then I'm going to, once the oil heats up, which I'm doing right now, I'm heating up my vegetable oil. Once that heats up, I don't use a thermometer, but I can just tell, I'll put in a little bit of flour or something to fry just to test how hot it is. Right now I have my induction stove set at 7.5. I don't like to get it too hot because then it will splatter. So really be very careful when you're frying to cover yourself. Make sure that you have an emergency plan just in case it gets too insane. Here's the moment of truth. I want to see if the pan is hot or if the oil is hot enough. So I'm going to take the sort of runt flours that I can't stuff, and I'm going to dip it into the batter and put it in. Sounds like it's ready. It's a good sound. Okay, I just want to show you what I have out ready for me. Just in case things get too hectic and it starts splattering everywhere. Well, first of all, you want to lower the heat. But second of all, you can immediately put some kind of splatter screen just to protect you from getting burnt. Then the other tool that I have is a slotted utensil. I use it for all of the things that I fry, and it's made of wire and wood. The wood doesn't heat up too much to burn my hand, which is really helpful. Then the other thing I have is a tray with some paper. This is a metal tray with some paper towel. When I take out my fried items, the grease gets absorbed by the paper towel, and they're in a heat-safe container. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead with frying now. You can tell when it's ready that it makes kind of like a hollow sound. You can feel that it's becoming crunchy, and the color of the flour. So this one in particular is already getting browned, as you can see, sort of looks nice and crispy. And so I'm gonna empty that and go ahead now with my fritters. Let's see with the first fritter. Now, these are a little different than the flours. They're gonna have more moisture, so please watch out. Have your splatter lid ready, because it's gonna make a lot of noise and it could get hectic. I'm actually gonna do it just in case. I'm gonna put it there just as a preventive action. As you can hear, it's really hot and it's getting fried, it's getting cooked. There's a rolling bubble of the oil, and that's what we want. It has to be hot enough because it's a quick and intense fry. And voila, zucchini flower fritters ready, pronto for eating. And I just wanted to let you know that in case you're not going to eat them right away, which is usually the best way to eat them, you can also fry them a second time, not as long, but just to heat them up and get them crunchy again. So this is also another option if you want to fry in advance, have it all ready, and then just do a quick fry right before eating. So, bon appetit!